Something this week, you probably asked some questions about what you were building. So while you're thinking about that, here's the two questions that we as project developers and project managers usually ask. We usually ask, what are we building? You know, someone comes to you and they're like, I want to pay you some money, I want you to build something for me. The first question we usually ask is what? What is it? What does it look like? You know, what are all the pieces? And we try to break it down that way. If you're an Agilist, you're always asking, what are we building next? Okay, we just finished that one thing that you gave us. What's next? We just finished that. What's next? We just finished that. What's next? We just finished that. What's next? That's sort of the Agile question asking. The other question that we often ask as developers and project managers is, how are we going to build it? And this is the one where developers can obsess to no end. This is where we get stuck a lot of times. It's like, oh, what technology are we going to use? Like, oh, what language? Maybe, how can we solve this problem in a new and inventive way that we've never solved it before? And if you're honest as a project manager, you probably ask this question too. Should I use Kanban or should I use the lean software methodology? Like what's going to be my process? Like project managers have the problem of obsessing over how just as much as developers do. Here's the three questions that we should be asking that you may not have asked this week. First off, who are we building it for? Let's be honest, we build stuff for people. Like we don't build it to, I mean, well, unless you're Chad, you don't build it just to solve problems. So, and even Chad built it for people. Like our spec was built because of specific users and use cases. So the first most important question that you should be asking when you're building anything in this coming week is, who's it for? This really influences the kind of decisions that you make, like what you leave in, what you put, what you take out, all those kind of things. The other question is that you should be asking is when. When can we release it? And really, you should translate this question into, when is the soonest possible time frame that I can release something? And when your client comes back to you and says a time, you should take it and chop it in half and say, can we release then? Why not? So the when question, just like I was just saying, we build software for people. If it's not released, no one's using it. So you should really push for releasing it sooner. The other question, and this is probably the most important one, is why are we building it? This question can explode into a lot of really interesting things. So first off, why are we even solving this problem with software? Maybe software is not the problem. Sometimes, as Larry likes to say, software is not the solution to all of your problems. Take a step back and see if there's another solution. Why are we building this as opposed to this other thing? This is the question that raises opportunity costs. I could be spending my time doing this other thing. Why am I solving this problem? So anyway, that was my basic talk, is that I want you guys to, as you're going throughout this week, to be thinking about 3 different questions that you may not normally think about when you're building something. First off, who are you building this for? When does it need to be done? When can we release it? And why are we building this particular thing? And I really think this transforms you from a developer or a project manager into a product champion, to really thinking about what it is that you're working on as a product.